Hey, this is June from Turning Point Life Investment, and this is your market analysis for January 16th, 2010. Okay, so another week, another new high. The level to look for currently is 115. The market tagged 115 a couple of times this week, so that marked as a pretty strong resistance level. If the market continues higher above that level, then we know that there's more buying to be done in this market. Overall, we did manage to come back and retest this 20-day moving average just like a couple of weeks ago, and that attracted some buying back into the market. So now we have to ask ourselves, is this going to be the same situation? We retested the 20-day moving average on Friday, so we're going to have to see if that will attract more buyers to come in and start picking up on this recent dip. But looking on Friday's action, it seemed rather bearish, especially since after reporting some spectacular news from Intel, prices did not hold up. This includes the market and Intel as well. So despite the great news, the market sold off on that. So you have to ask yourself from a behavior psychological point of view, if good news is not able to drive this market any higher, what else can really drive this market to go up, right? But all in all, we're still coming back to retest support. 113 is the level to look for as far as support level. If that breaks, that includes this 20-day moving average, I would suspect some kind of deeper pullback, probably towards 111. That's where going to be. That's where the 50-day moving average is going to be as well. And you can see on Friday it was a rather high volume, relative high volume on the selling. So that's somewhat bearish on Friday. Okay, zooming out a bit, let me take away the studies. There's also a pretty decent uptrend line that the market is about to retest right here. So you notice we touched this uptrend line once, one time, two times, three times, and we're about to touch it again. So as I mentioned, this more or less corresponds to the 113 level. So that's going to be a rather critical support level to be breaking right here. So there's a confluence of support at 113 and as well as this rising trend line. If this breaks, then you would definitely know that there's going to be more selling to be done for this market, and potentially this could mark as the market top. Okay, next we go into the VIX. Taking a look at the sentiment on Monday, that was a pretty huge drop on the VIX, and I mentioned that on our forum that it's rather unusual to see such a huge drop on the VIX. It's almost as if it's a capitulation type of move where this thing just dropped off the cliff. Usually when you see something like that, that could mark the bottom for the VIX. So if the VIX marked the bottom, that could potentially mean the market has marked a top or very close to that top. Especially since I mentioned last week to keep an eye on this thing as a contrarian sign, where if the VIX gets really, really low, that could potentially be a sign to go bearish on the market since the market is getting too bullish. So potentially what I see for the VIX is it might be forming a higher low currently, right? Um, if it does form a higher low and it finds support and it bounces higher from there, then that's actually a start of an uptrend. And since if the VIX goes up, that could mean a lot of bearishness for the market if volatility does pick up anytime soon. So just to recap, watch for this level right here. We're pretty close to breaking it at around 113, and as well as this this rising trend line. If that does break, then expect more selling to occur. However, if we get a bounce and we get a break above 115, then that means the buying is not over yet, and there's still people that's willing to continue to buy this market. So just watch for the upper resistance and the lower support levels for next week.